This is Money Talk Radio and the Ellis Martin Report. Today we're speaking with Sid Rajeev, Head of Research at Fundamental Research Corp, North America's largest independent equity research firm focused on the resource sector. We're diving into Blue Lagoon Resources, trading in Canada as BLLG and in the U.S. as BLAGF. A company Sid has just issued a buy rating of $1.11, citing strong fundamentals, robust margins, and a transition from development into full-scale production at its Dome Mountain Gold project in British Columbia. With a toll milling agreement in place and a projected $23 million in revenue in year one, Blue Lagoon is positioned to become one of the most compelling junior producers in the gold space today. Let's hear what Sid has to say. Sid, welcome to the program. It's great to visit with you again. It's been too long.
Thanks for having me, Alice.
We are both working with Blue Lagoon Resources, and you don't take on just any client. Tell us why you're a fan of Blue Lagoon Resources.
I have a number of reasons why we love the story. I would say 3 points. Number one is there's a strong appetite for junior producers, given gold and silver are at record highs. We cover a wide range of resource companies, from early stage grassroots exploration to mines, and I interact with both institutional and retail investors on a daily basis. I'm seeing strong appetite for advanced stage juniors and producers with production growth potential. And I think Blue Lagoon fits in that space. That's number one. Number two is the project's fundamental. I was up at the mine site last week for the reopening ceremony. The location is good. The underground mine is well maintained with good access. And most importantly, it's a high-grade mine, and that means potential for high margins. And number three is valuation. When there's a shift in stage, markets typically apply a premium. Blue Lagoon has moved from development stage to production, which means markets will start valuing the company as a miner. And based on our projections, we believe Blue Lagoon is trading at 2.8 times revenue versus the sector average of 3.8. And Blue Lagoon is trading at 4.3 times EBITDA versus the sector average of almost 6 times. So based on these three factors, we feel Blue Lagoon offers a compelling opportunity.
And you have a buy rating right now of about $1.11. And as of this interview, the stock is trading at about 62 cents, potentially well undervalued, like you stated. Will that buy rating change, or are you going to stick with that?
Yeah, so it's a moving piece. So we monitor the company and the sector on a daily basis, pretty much 24/7. So any material news comes out, if it affects our valuation, we put out a message through notes, updates, and we inform our followers if there's any change in fair value. But yes, we do monitor for developments and update our fair value accordingly.
According to the report which I just read that you put out on Blue Lagoon, you've projected, or the company has projected, that the first year should bring in about $23 million worth of revenue. Is that correct?
Yes. So what's going to happen is Blue Lagoon is going to truck the materials to a processing facility owned by Nikola Mining, and that facility has a capacity of 200 tons per day. In our models, we assume that Blue Lagoon will truck 100 tons per day, which is 50% of the capacity in the first year. Keep in mind, Blue Lagoon and management is expecting to truck 150 tons per day. So to be conservative, we started with 100 tons per day first year, second year 150, and by year 4, we are expecting Blue Lagoon should be able to do 200 tons per day. And based on the 100 tons per day in first year, at 9 grams per ton, which is high-grade materials, and at current price of gold, we think Blue Lagoon should do over $22 million in cash flows.
That's extremely good, especially for the first year and the margin that you've just elaborated on. Now, my interview with Rana not too long ago, he discussed that they're only really working 1/10 of the land package there. So really, we don't know what the mine life could be, do we?
No. So based on historic work, the project has close to 250,000 ounces of just gold. And we feel that this resource alone could be sufficient for a 15-year mine life. And considering that the property has been relatively untested and management feels that the project could hold over 1 million ounces, and we have looked at those numbers and we feel it's quite reasonable, although there's a lot of work needs to be done. But even based on the existing resource, you look at the net present value of the projected cash flows, we feel the market cap should be much higher than the current levels.
There's certainly a lot of choices in the junior mining space right now, and very few things are getting funded. Greenfield's not really an option for investors or companies right now, is it?
Yeah, so market sentiment has completely changed in the past few years. If you've been following the resource sector past few years, you might know that 2023 and 2024 was really bad across the board for all miners and developers, explorers. So I would say the risk tolerance has significantly decreased among investors in the sector. So there's little love for early stage exploration. More and more investors are looking at advanced stage projects, companies with solid fundamentals, and companies with production growth potential like Blue Lagoon.
I've known Rana Vig about 10 years, and I think you have as well. He's been around the block in a good way. He's learned what not to do in this business, and I think he's really found his way to a definite score in British Columbia, finding a mining permit that was really not available to most companies, and I think that in itself offers a lot of de-risk. What has been your experience with Rana?
Yeah, so I've known Rana for over 10 years as well. We've been very impressed with how Rana has been able to push through and advance this project to production. When I was up at the mine last week, I talked to several locals, individuals from First Nation groups. It was nice to see how Blue Lagoon has built a good team with strong local support. That's very essential, very critical for all miners. Overall, I think he has built a solid management team and with a good mix of both business and technical experience.
He really cares about the community, and that's super important because essentially you're operating on their land, you're employing their people, and without those relationships, you're really just stealing, aren't you?
100%. Especially when you operate in BC, we need to get strong support from local communities. And I think based on my experience just on the property for 2 days and interacting with a lot of individuals there, I think Blue Lagoon has done a great job so far in terms of local support.
For those that are listening that are hearing your voice for the first time, tell us all about Fundamental Research and why you're involved in the mining sector and others.
Sure, Ellis. So we are the largest independent equity research firm in North America, focused on resources. Been around since 2003, and over 22 years we've covered over 750 companies across a wide range of sectors. This means we have interviewed and interacted with over 750 management teams as well. For every company, we produce an independent third-party perspective with our estimate of the fair value of the company. Our research is read by institutions and retail investors globally, and investors access these through subscriptions or at portals such as Bloomberg, Reuters, S&P, and others.
Sid, it's always great to see you again, to catch up with you. Thank you so much for joining me today on the program. Don't be a stranger.
Thanks for the invite, Ellis.
I've been speaking with Sid Rajeev, Head of Research at Fundamental Research Corp, about his firm's latest coverage on Blue Lagoon Resources, trading in Canada as BLLG and in the U.S. as BLAGF, a company now moving into production backed by high-grade gold, infrastructure in place, and strong relationships with First Nations communities. Full disclosure, both the Ellis Martin Report and Fundamental Research Corp are compensated providers of investor awareness for Blue Lagoon Resources. For more information, visit researchfrc.com and bluelagoonresources.com. For Money Talk Radio and the Ellis Martin Report, I'm Ellis Martin.